AFC West champions once again with a win over the Bengals that was highlighted by, well, a Rashee Rice catch and a defensive shutout in the second half. Absolutely a game that you won't really forget. There was a lot of things that happened. We're going to talk about all of this here and what this means going forward. So let's first look at the stat sheet here. As Mahomes had 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 21 for 29. Very efficient. Isiah Pacheco, 18 carries for 130 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. He also had a bunch of receiving yards. He was absolutely amazing. Rashee Rice, 5 receptions for 127 yards, including a 67-yard reception that got the Chiefs into scoring position to kick that Bengal away, or kick that ball in there to make sure the Bengals go away. Jake Browning, 197 yards and 1 touchdown, and then Joe Mixon, 21 carries for 65 yards. Chase, 3 receptions, 41 yards. Not too much there. Not too much there. A lot of things that I think are positive about this game taking into it. The Chiefs did say they were going to kind of mess with their offensive ways, going to limit the playbook, and I liked it. I think it worked a lot better. The offense looked more fluid. There was less drops, although MVS had a terrible one once again. Overall, this team looked a lot better in pretty much every aspect. Scoring 25, that's pretty good for this team. I know it shouldn't really be, but I'll take what I'll take. Now, here's the thing. This did make the Chiefs AFC West champions, so I need everybody in the chat to spam champs in this video. Just spam it, man. AFC West champions once again. It is absolutely amazing. And I'm telling you, this was not easy. It took till week 17. It took beating the Bengals at home. That have been a tough team even without Joe Burrow. And it was close. It was close all the way through. Butker nails all-time great with his field goal performance, hitting 5. I mean, he's absolutely insane. Now, Chiefs offensive totals here for today's game. Yeah, 373 yards and 241 on passing. 132 with rushing, though. 22 carries and 132 yards, 1 turnover. It was the fumble early in the game where you once again thought, oh no, here comes the Mahomes turnovers, and we're going to freaking lose this game. But guess what? Mahomes was able to clean up. He was able to understand the game and break it down. I'm going to tell you, this was one of his most efficient games ever, and I fully believe it was because that playbook was shortened. It was because Andy Reid and Matt Nagy came to the decision, let's shrink this playbook. Now, I still don't believe in this offense going forward. I still have to see more than one game. I think Matt Nagy is still not the greatest coach at all, and I would not like to see him back next year. But this was a better game than what we had thought, and overall, Patrick Mahomes did look better with a lot of things going forward. Now, Isiah Pacheco had a game to remember. 18 carries, 130 yards, 37 long, and 1 receiving touchdown. This guy was all over the field. He was rushing. He was catching. He, by far, had the most yards and was honestly the clear-cut MVP of this game, in my opinion. I think he looked and played the part of RB1. And I didn't see much of Clyde, which he had an illness earlier this week, which forced him out of some practices. And guess what? We thought, okay, well, with Isiah Pacheco having almost a concussion last week, what are we going to see? We saw him have his best game of the year, possibly his best game of his career up until this point, now almost 2 full seasons through. Rashee Rice also had maybe his best game of his career with his longest catch of 67 yards on a absolute dot from Rashee Rice to Rashee Rice from Patrick Mahomes. Over the top, no safety, a streak route up the sideline, and I'm telling you, Rashee Rice had to reach and pulled it in. He had some drop problems. This whole team has had drop problems. But that catch right there, and no drops on the day from Rashee, is exactly why you need him on this team. You need him to go and play positively, and he will help you win. When Rashee Rice plays well, this team plays well. 5 for 127 is what I want to see, and I want to see it every single game. Hopefully then we can potentially get this offense rolling to where when you get in the playoffs, all records reset, and your offense can go to work. Now, I will tell you this. There's one thing we do here on the Chiefs Report, and that's sub for Chiefs Dubs. Given the Chiefs win, I want to sub for Chiefs Dubs. They won. Let's subscribe, and let's get more, because guess what? The more subs we get, the more chance the Chiefs will have to win next week against the Chargers and have a positive winning streak going into the playoffs. It would be amazing. And there is some ways where you could potentially jump that 2 spot if you win next week. And the Dolphins could lose. A lot of ways you could get that 2 spot. So I'm thinking overall, you still want to go out and play pretty hard for that game against the Chargers. But sub for Chiefs Dubs. I'd certainly appreciate it. Now, Travis Kelce, he hasn't looked at himself in a long time. 4 targets, 3 receptions, 16 yards. Had 1 drop. Overall, just wasn't exactly the greatest. It was very much just a tough game from Travis Kelce. And unfortunately for him, it hasn't gotten better. And I am hard to sit here and not say Taylor Swift doesn't have an effect on it. But I digress. I don't want the Swifties to attack me. It's all right, though. 25-17, an absolute great game. And unfortunately, the Chiefs did not hit my prize picks, though. That's all right. That's all right. Their defense did the job, but you can go win. We got Sunday Night Football coming up today. We got the college football championships games tomorrow, the playoff games tomorrow. You can put prize picks in on that. And if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS, you're going to get a first deposit match of up to $100. Now, Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and it's easy to see why, because they are the most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. You pick 2 to 6 players from any sport. You then choose more or less on their Prize Picks projections. Then you choose flex or power play, and depending on what you want to put and how confident you are on all your picks. Now, mine did not hit. That's all right. I had the more on Patrick Mahomes passing yards. Did not get there. More on Rashee Rice receptions. Did not get there. He was 1 short. And then Jamar Chase less on receptions, but he only had 3. So I was spot on that. I mean, coming off an injury, facing L'Jarius Sneed, who was locked down pretty much everybody's face, thought there was no way Jamar was going to get it. And guess what? He did not. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season has been the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types, where it makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball with the Bengals offense having just 263 yards, 159 through the air, 103 on the ground, which it continues the trend. The Chiefs' rushing defense needs to improve if you're going to go into the postseason and have a shot at the Super Bowl. It's just not exactly the greatest, and given the offense hasn't been great, you kind of need to figure it out. Now, if the offense starts to figure it out, maybe it's not that big a deal because your passing defense has been exceptional. Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, they're locking these guys up and continuously making sure that the quarterback, whoever it is, has a troublesome night. And Jake Browning was tormented both by quarterbacks and by defensive linemen. Carl Loftus had 2 sacks. Chris Jones got a sack. Justin Reid off a blitz got 2 sacks in back-to-back plays in tremendous fashion at the end of the game to try and really force it now. Unfortunately, the Bengals did convert a long 3rd down, but still, that was crucial to wasting time and forcing this Bengals team to play in stressful situations. Browning also did carry the ball a little bit, had 7 carries for 32 yards, and had the 1 touchdown as he ran it in on the right side. There was a chance for the Chiefs to stop these guys 3 times, almost 4 times, on the goal line. They had 1st and goal as a stop, 2nd goal stop, 3rd goal stop, and then Browning was able to get it in on their 4th trip as they just kind of spun him in. And again, this rushing defense needs to be better, but still, I think it was really a plus today to see how they played. Mixon only had 65 yards and 21 carries. Chase Brown didn't exactly get going. There's a bunch of receiving plays, that little outs to running backs and tight ends. They weren't good. It wasn't good at all. And overall, I think that needs to clean up because you can't just give up these free yardages to the running backs and to the tight ends. The under routes were killing the freaking Chiefs all freaking day long. Now, the playoff picture kind of opens up a little bit, or maybe shuts down. You have the division leaders with the Bengals, the Bengals, what am I saying? The Ravens, who are atop at the #1 seed. And then you have the Dolphins, who are 11-5. In theory, Dolphins lose next week to the Bills, and the Chiefs beat the Chargers. The Chiefs overtake the Dolphins for the 2 seed. That would be huge because as of right now, it's looking like the 5 is pretty confirmed. 5 is confirmed almost to a halt right now with the Browns, unless they lose next week and the Bills win, but then there's tiebreakers that comes into that. Bills are at 6, and the Colts are at 7. Right now, it'd be Chiefs, Bills, in Arrowhead, and the Bills have already beat them once there. I would not like to test that again. I would love to be the 2 seed and face either the Colts or the Texans, who are playing next week. Pittsburgh is technically still in it. There's a lot of tiebreakers that can go on, but this field is down to now just 9 teams. 9 teams left that can officially clinch a playoff spot. It's gone down. So I have to know, the Chiefs have a spot to get the 2 seed. They could be the 3 seed. Technically, there's a chance it could be the 4. Let me know. The Chiefs will end up as the number what seed in the AFC? Let me know what you're thinking. What seed will the Chiefs end up in? I want you to put that in the comment section because I'm curious to think. You think they'll get 2? Think they'll stick at 3? I think at worst they're going 3. Let me know in the comment section below. We appreciate you watching. Make sure you sub for Chiefs Dubs. Scroll down the little red button, subscribe. Hit that. We'd certainly appreciate it. But for now, Chiefs Kingdom, happy Championship Sunday and a happy New Year. Let's wish for an amazing 2024 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Peace out.